Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tiger Tank 12, however you call me, I don't really care, and welcome back to World of Tanks. And today I have a gameplay for you in the Sandlag, but this is just secondary because we're going to be talking a little bit about Crew 2.0. You've probably already seen it from the title and from the thumbnail. I'm not a big fan of the changes that Wargaming are currently trying to push very hard towards us. So let me just put down the volume a little bit and we can talk about Crew 2.0. So Crew 2.0 is a thing that we don't really need at all. I think the crew system is not broken in the game, and there could be several things that you could adjust, for example, but I think in general crew and skills aren't a big issue that we have. I think there are much more pressing concerns, for example, the lack of weak spots, the total use of premium shells, and yeah, there are other things, matchmaking, for example, and the recent high explosive changes that are still very new to the game. But yes, Crew 2.0 is something that Wargaming have created just to... Well, I think the only reason Crew 2.0 is out there is because Wargaming want to make more money, and Crew 2.0 is a system where they can make us grind a lot more. So currently the crew system works very simple with a couple of perks. Like, there are a couple of perks that are really good, and it takes a while to unlock like more than 2 or 3 perks because that's where you need a lot of XP. But still, if you have a crew that has 100% and maybe 6 cents and Brothers in Arms, you're already going to be quite competitive. So there's no big issue really there. So with the Crew 2.0 system, where you now have a lot more skills, there is also a prestige system. So like, generally speaking, you're going to be able to utilize the crew for several tanks, which is a good thing. And that crew can actually be prestiged. That's like in total not a bad thing in my opinion. But the issue is that if you want to prestige the tank fully, or the crew for each and every single one of the vehicles, you have to get 25 million experience. And that is a complete joke of a number, because if you have watched QB's video, you'll know that it's about $1,800 to be able to get a crew fully maxed out. But what you can do with those crews that are fully maxed out is really disgusting, because all of a sudden what you can do with those crews is you're able to just have a reload time of maybe 4 seconds on a STB1. You can get like a 69% camo rating on EBR 105, and generally speaking it's completely broken. But it's so broken, and it's only accessible to maybe 2% of the player base, so that it's a complete pay-to-win thing, and all of the other players never will get their crew to a level where they're going to be competitive with every single tank. So Wargaming is doing this for more money. This is a very clear-cut thing, because the crew skills never were broken, and the only thing you could actually do, and that I would really like to see, is to be able to use one crew for several tanks, and to be able to have that crew you know, at 100%, where everyone starts off at the same level, and then you can actually have 6 cents and maybe Brothers in Arms already unlocked. So that would make it a lot more, you know, a lot more enjoyable for the player base, where a lot of people maybe never had the option to get a crew that is very good from the get-go, and it costs you a lot of credits or experience or gold. But I think the crew system right now, I would still much rather prefer no changes than to have those changes with a lot of bad changes on top of that. But I think Wargaming, they just don't really care. They are trying to push this really hard. The feedback on the videos is really negative, and I think Wargaming themselves, they just don't really care. I think this is the second iteration of the sandbox server, and they are still clinging on to these things, and they're telling us that 70% of the player base are looking forward to these changes, and I'm not really sure who they're asking, but it could be 70% of the Wargaming employment staff. And I think it's a real big letdown from this company. And to be fair, I've been let down by Wargaming a couple of times, more times than I can actually count. And this is probably going to be the biggest letdown of them all. If Crew 2.0 comes out, we're going to have a huge problem. I think we're going to have a max exodus of players. And Wargaming is going to be like, what? Why aren't you playing this game anymore? Where's everyone going? Oh, what has happened? We don't understand it. But I think the signs are at the horizon. I don't even think Wargaming is dumb enough to not see them. Even they will spot them. But Wargaming is just completely ignorant because they want to make more money. It feels like this is the final step of this game. If Crew 2.0 comes out, it might just bury the entire game forever. It might just finish off World of Tanks as a funny game that was released once 10 years ago, and it might just be the end of this game as we know it. That could very well be the case. I think it's a very sad kind of reality, but it's a reality that we might be looking at, and I don't even know where to go from there on, because I think if this change comes in, I might not be playing World of Tanks anymore. I think it might just be the end for this game. And I don't really see how Wargaming cannot see the glaring issues of vehicles that are able to have camera ratings of over 70%. And, you know, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. This has already been a very exhausting kind of topic for a while now. Wargaming and World of Tanks have been exhausting, especially if you have been playing this game for a while, if you've been following it, the development, if you've been following all the changes, all of the new vehicles. Like, there has always been more power creep. Everything has to be better. Premium tanks have to be better and better and better. And Tier 8 is a complete mess. There are so many issues with this game. The high explosive changes, matchmaking isn't very good, map diversity isn't very good. And they are trying to make new problems to just get people hooked on this game, to get those whales in, the whales that have paid so much money into World of Tanks. I myself have been a whale. I myself have, almost bought every single premium tank. I regret that in the end now, because I think the way that Wargaming are treating this game, I shouldn't have paid any money at all, or maybe much less than I've paid. And I just think the only thing that Wargaming as a company will understand is if we really bring it down on them with the monetary changes, if we don't buy any more things, if we just completely, stop buying premium tanks, stop buying premium time or premium currency, that might do the trick. But I'm not sure. I think they're gonna box it through. They have their mind set on it, and we're gonna be the ones suffering in the end. So maybe this is the end of World of Tanks, and we'll have to see how that's going to be developing. So I'm gonna try to get on the Sandbox server, and I'm gonna try to make a live stream or a video about it, and then we can really talk about the big issues right there. But until then, I hope you guys have a good one. Don't buy anything in World of Tanks. Just, let your wallet rest until everything is very clear if they're bringing it out or not. Because this change is not going to hurt you. It's going to hurt everyone. It's going to hurt every single player, except for a very, very small percentage that has a lot of money and is just going to be buying everything. They don't really care. That's exactly what Wargaming are trying to do with this game. They're trying to milk it to the end, and it's a shame. It's really a shame. What a horrible, shitty fucking company. And to be fair, if I wouldn't love this game so much, I would wish this company to go completely broke, and they have all get completely annihilated without World of Tanks out there, I think. So, yeah. Not a very good day. I hope it gets better, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, have a good one.